Coming to you live. Coming to you live from the rinks in Hauppauge. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Gabe Curry on the camera. The Swiss Army knife he is, running socials and running cam tonight. Taking you through a pair of marquee, grade A, top of the food chain, and top of the standings matchups here in the varsity division. Beginning with St. Anthony taking on Northport Huntington. Northport Huntington coming into the matchup tied with SCHSHL with 18 points. Have 8 wins, 2 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 2 overtime wins. Do the Tigers, and most notably is they handed Smithtown Hauppauge, top of the table Smithtown Hauppauge, their most recent loss, a 6-5 thrilling overtime game, which featured the OT winner from Owen Karpich. St. A's on the other side of things, they too have been off to another great start in their season thus far, their season in which they only have 1 loss and a tie, 1 regulation loss, 1 tie due St. A's. The Friars' lone loss came against East Islip 3-2 back on October the 8th. They defeated Smithtown Hauppauge as well, handing them their only regulation loss of the season, 5-3, on November the 17th. The lone head-scratcher, a 3-3 tie to Middle Country, who do not find themselves in and amongst the top teams in the SCHSHL. And so, that buzzer. Let's take a look at some of the players getting it done for both of these sides. For Northport Huntington, no surprise, they are led by JT Caruso, the all-star of a year ago, following up that campaign with 25 points in 12 games played this season. Good enough for 4th most amongst all varsity forwards and defensemen, all varsity players, of course. 14 goals, 11 assists. He's been outstanding. The Robin to JT Caruso's Batman has been Lucas Sereno, and he's got 11 goals in 9 games played, does Sereno. Oraman, Khan, and Karpich with 10 points in 6 games played. Also key contributors for the Tigers. And got an update from Gabe. He's saying potentially no JT Caruso tonight. That would be the first game he hasn't played this season and would be obviously a big loss for the Tigers of Northport Huntington. But as I was saying, their goaltender, Bowden Rudloff, has been one of the best in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League to this point in the year. And he essentially will take these Tigers as far as they'll go. On the other end of the ice, the black and gold, St. Anthony. They're led by Anthony Sorrentino with 17 points and 10 games played, as well as Tommy Azzariti. Azzariti, of course, a top scorer for the Friars a season ago, coming back. And new to the team, formerly of their JV squad, getting the bump up to varsity and looking good doing so, Ryan Riggins with 15 points and 7 games played for Riggins. Sorrell and, of course, Catallo, who can forget his magical 4-goal performance and a shootout goal to put the Friars past SCHSHL in order to get them to the finals. We're going to step aside. Lineups and anthem coming your way in just a moment right here on LI Sports Network. And with the conclusion of the anthem, we're set here for puck drop momentarily on the North Rink on this Sunday evening. Once again, Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Gabe Curry. Getting the start in goal tonight, number 1 for the St. Anthony Friars in Long Island goal, Jordan Varsity. And on the other end of the ice for Northport Huntington, it will not be Bowden Rudloff, but rather his goaltending mate, Brandon Rossi, who gets the nod in between the pipes here tonight. As again, we gear ourselves for puck drop momentarily. Officials still talking things over. Not sure why the delay is here, but in the meanwhile, want to highlight another member of the Friars here, and that's Dylan Schlicht, who made the jump from the freshman team all the way up to varsity this year. Schlicht led his freshman team, the only Friar freshman team, last year, as there is this year, only one Friar freshman team, in points. He makes the jump up to varsity. Not something you typically see. And once again, both teams will be by their benches. Good reminder for all you fine folks, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Rinks and Realities podcast. New episode dropping Friday, Gabe. Gabe says yes. Travis Quigley, Paul Trentini host the podcast and produced by our own Wally Mitchell, who we send our regards and get well messages to. Hope he is doing all well. He's out sick. I have not seen a delay quite like this, Gabe. Getting a player into the system. That's what Gabe's theory is. It's a good theory. Number 93, Patrick Schmidt, is standing by the officials, or the official. There's a group of officials huddled around the Friar bench, as well as Varsity with his helmet off. Now if we get a good look at Varsity with his mask off, there, Gabe, on the Friar end of things. He took over in the playoffs and ultimately got the Friars past Smithtown Hauppauge in that decisive Game 3. Dominant victory for St. A's. It was the first time that anyone had really beat up on Smithtown Hauppauge that season of a year ago, and they did so in the game that mattered most. I believe the score was 9-4 or something of the like. They go on to play in the Long Island Championship, in which they fell in a tightly contested game to the New York Islanders High School Hockey League winners, which were Belmore Merrick. Haven't heard any word yet if there will be a second consecutive Long Island Championship. I certainly hope there is. I think it's a great thing, a raging success, if you will. And I think I'm going to warm up a tea, maybe get a snack or something. I don't know. It seems we're in no hurry. A Northport Huntington player has come off the ice now. And it looks like it was a player wearing number 23, and there is no 23 in my system. No, I just read the number wrong. Get some glasses, Ryan. That is number 22, Jose Walter, in this battle of varsity teams who elect not to wear names on the back of their jerseys. And boys, are we going to play or what tonight, huh? What do you say we play some hockey? Shall we? I don't know. Maybe I thought the start time was a little while ago. Anyway, I think we there we go. We're ready to go. Live on YouTube on the LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Gabe Curry, the Friars and the Tigers are ready for puck drop. Two of the top teams in the varsity standings set to battle. And we're off. It's like when your plane is about to take off and then they go, wait, and you're stuck in the tarmac. Isn't that the worst? Anyway. Northport Huntington iced the puck. Faceoff will come down to the left of Brandon Rossi. Rossi and Valchich just got a nice little refresher on my lineup card. And Gabe was correct. No JT Caruso for Northport Huntington. It'll certainly pose a challenge here tonight. It's the second meeting between these two sides. There's a turnover. Chance, one-timer shot. They score. Friars get on the board early. 22 seconds in. Off a turnover in the defensive end. A bang-bang play. Sorrell to Azaridi. Or rather, reverse it. Azaridi to Sorrell. And it is 1-0 for the Friars in no time at all. So not the start you wanted if you're Northport Huntington. That's for certain. Another shot toward Rossi is denied. And no chance for the Northport Huntington backup netminder getting the start here tonight on that one. Catallo will also pick up an assist on the goal. Sorrell's 9th shot. That's a pad save made by Rossi. Catallo in behind. Rolls out the far boards. Anthony Catallo now back to the right point. Taken away. Chance potentially the other way. Walter. Left wing side. He'll go down. And charging up ahead is Miklich. Joseph Miklich lets that one fly wide. Wraps around the wall to the near side where it's picked up and controlled by the Friars' Anthony Sorrentino. Deflected ahead. Sorrentino back skating with it. Near circle, centers one. Shot denied by Rossi. On the great look out in front from Mauricio Carrasco. Face off to the left of Rossi. Handled and cleared by the Tigers of Northport Huntington. Fired into the chest of Valsich, and he'll cover up. Taking that last shot, Patrick Schmidt. Patrick Schmidt last year playing with the JV Tiger squad. Getting the call up to Varsity. He has it here. Tries a direct one toward the front of the net. Deflects out of the zone and handled by Carrasco. Flutters under the stick of Rossi, rolls to the near side. Intercepted, taken over in the corner by Sorrentino. Back to the point, and Stiuso could not hold in. It's back now with Jake Nichols. Nichols deflects ahead off the boards. Near side dump in here for the left winger Sorrentino. Is taken over by Karpich. Schmidt trying to control in the near corner. Tigers trail by 1 on an early goal scored by the Friars' Zach Sorrell. Here's Gazzardo in the far corner. He'll bank one to center. Rolls all the way down. It'll be an icing on Northport Huntington. We've only generated the one shot towards Valsich. made the save. Northport Huntington have not bested St. Anthony in over 2 seasons. They lost 4-1 earlier this year. It's a long shot that directs right out in front. Another drive save made. Sorrentino with the good look off the rebound in front. Rossi making the saves needed as Justin Norris will bank around, hoping for Riggins. He's got Riggins. Riggins flings it ahead. Went off of the Northport defender, so play on we do. Comes back to the right point, Stuiso. In behind, out in front, chance, save made, Rossi, rebound. And it was somehow held out. My goodness. And now a little extracurricular activity taking place in front, but how about Brandon Rossi? 2 grade A's denied. There's the first, trying to gather in the rebound. No, that snuck by him, that went in, no. Did it go? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. One more look at it. Here's the first shot. Save made. Rebound. Off the post. No! No, it went off the post. Oh! But a penalty also was the result of it. First power play of the game belongs to the Friars as Kevin Sherwood goes off to the box for cross-checking. So after nearly extending their lead to 2, the Friars will get a chance to do it on the power play. Here's Sorrell. Cross-ice pass intercepted and cleared by Walter. Valsic out to stop. He'll fling it around the boards, but only Tigers are there. Potential shorthanded opportunity. Good pass across. Fired by Walter. Blocker save made by Valsic. One more time, it's Sorrell, but that outlet pass deflecting off of Karpich, and the Tigers resume control. Walter. Fired up the near boards. Catallo. Right back down low, where it's handled by Busa. But that slot feed intercepted, now held in barely, but away come the Tigers and Justin Kahn. Kahn unable to get a shot through. Good defense by Catallo, who streaks up ice. Anthony Catallo, left wing side. Hovers around the net. Catallo keeps the cycle moving down below to Sorrentino. Catallo up top, Sorrell bats at it, but ultimately comes out of the zone under the watchful eye of Busa. Just 33 seconds remain on the power play for the Friars. Here's Azzariti, Tommy Azzariti, over the line. Far circle, centering feed off the stick of the Northport Huntington goaltender Rossi. And away come the Tigers, and it's Karpich. Karpich, far circle shot into the chest of netminder Valsic, who will hold on. So a defensive zone draw for the Friars with 12 seconds left on the power play. And 9:36 left here in the first period as we get a look at Valsic up and close. One of the leaders in the SCHSHL in terms of goals allowed average, or goals against average, I should say. More colloquial term. Anyway, Stiuso brings it around town and up top for Karaher. Stiuso down low, worked it back out to Karaher, fired it wide. Held in by Stiuso. Leo Stiuso. Now Tigers clear with authority. Karpich fires, blocker save made by Valsic, and it goes out of play. Great rush up the ice here from Karpich. And the Tigers kill off the power play and get a scoring chance as well. 2-on-1, Karpich, as he's joined there by Nick Ganesi. So Nick Ganesi getting the JV call-up. I believe it's his debut. His varsity debut for Ganesi. He does lead them in points as that shot wide came off the stick of Schmidt. In behind was Jack Fernandez. He also of the JV squad. He is the captain. Typically play defense. So definitely a shorthanded group tonight for Northport Huntington. A lot of opportunities here for players who will likely be playing varsity in a season from now, as Walter, aggressive on the forecheck, knocked it off the stick there of Peter Kelly. Backhanded around by Dan Smith, but intercepted to the point. Sherwood, shot save, rebound in front, available for Walter. He couldn't quite pull the trigger. Another chance, save made. Valsic, as he scrambles, he gets the puck and will hold on to it. Tigers looking for the equalizer, coming oh so close. You watch it right, clearing attempt goes right off of Justin Kahn, and the scramble is on. And Valsic, great positioning, holds strong. Keeps the Tigers off the board. Ensuing draw won by the Friars, and they'll send it right in, does Busa. Held in at the far point. A nice play made by Nichols. Nichols pinching. Gloves it down, does Nichols, but he ultimately cannot establish the zone, and instead it comes free to Oramaner. Oramaner ultimately thwarted on his zone entry. Back come the Friars. Pass blocked and cleared by Northport Huntington. As we approach halfway through and a little bit over halfway through this first period, it's 1-0 St. A's on a goal scored within the first 30 seconds of the hockey game. Here's a turnover chance. Kahn plays it to the middle. Oramaner slid it wide. And unable to hold in for the moment, Schmidt. Schmidt battling Carrasco. Now here's Karpich. DDD pass in the direction of Gazzardo. Turned over, wrist shot, save made. Another good stop there from Rossi. Turnover in the D zone off the stick of Gazzardo. Another chance, save made, Rossi. Rebound thrown out in front. Couple of great looks there from Sorrell. And now skated to center by Owen Karpich. No, pardon. There's a chance, save made. Again on Sorrell. He's had a number of opportunities. Has the lone goal, looking for more. Centers one, and it's a little bit behind his intended target. Tigers eventually do clear the zone. Back with Sorrell. It's been all over the ice here in this first period. Backhands in, goes to work on Gazzardo. Takes it away from Gazzardo in the far corner. Sorrell circles, Sorrell fires, scores! Have a shift. Zach Sorrell makes it 2-0 for St. Anthony as he just went beast mode. Took the puck away, brought it to the circle, and ripped it by Rossi for his second of the game. And subsequently, his 10th of the season for Zach Sorrell. Looks like a man possessed here tonight in this first period. Oramaner can't drag it to himself, and instead it's taken back by Carraher. Turnover though in the D zone. Northport Huntington gain control. It's Jose Walter, but it's poked from Walter by Carraher. Out of the zone, Walter back to it. Hounded by Carraher. Spins away, flipped ahead by Sherwood, but taken back by the Friars. Dom Tartaglia, who fires a shot blocked by Sherwood, and then he gets knocked down on the play by Kahn, Justin Kahn. And now Oramaner outlets. Jordan Oramaner, saucer pass toward the middle, guided away by Valsic into the near corner. Taken away for the moment here by Jordan Oramaner. Held in by Kahn. Oramaner once again held in the near point by the Tigers. Friars will try the far side of the ice to clear. Oramaner there as well, though. Chips it to himself in the far corner. Centers! Deflected in, a save made by Valsic. Walter getting a piece of that puck. Near point. Cycle continues for Northport Huntington. Good shift here for the Tigers. Centering try. And a good defensive play made by St. Anthony's Chris Kanza. Tigers flip right back in. Valsic to stop it. Valsic deciding to leave it to Stiuso. At the line, backhanded northward by Dan Smith. And now skated to center by Karaher. Ben Karaher. Toward the middle, two Friars collide into each other. Sorrell, one of them. Comes Karpich. Karpich dangles and could not get a shot. Great back check provided that time by Dan Smith. And the Friars regroup in their own end. Sorrell's pass hit a Northport Huntington Tiger and regrouping in their own zone. It's shifted ahead by Gazzardo. Deflected in by Jack Fernandez. Miklich for the black and gold. Banks one on. Corralled by Sorrell, but offside are St. A's. Now stop the clock with 3:13 left here in period number 1. It's the Friars 2, Northport Huntington nothing. Here and only on the LI Sports Network. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Sure to check us out on social media if you haven't already. Give us a follow on Instagram at LI Sports Network. Couple of Sorrell goals for St. A's, the difference so far in this one. And they'll win the draw and work it across. Far circle, dragging, but no shot came through there from Riggins. Ganesi helping get the puck out of the zone. Right back in with speed, Sorrentino. He'll fire off the mask of Rossi. And Ganesi trying to clear it out the left wing side. Not successful the first time. There, that finally does get out. Incoming Karpich. Drop for Schmidt. Backhands on and a save made by a well-positioned Jordan Valsic. Face off to the left of the Friar netminder. One in the defensive end by St. Anthony, but they take it away. Do Northport Huntington. Centering bid doesn't go there from Oramaner. Out comes Budicavoli. And now a shot. Rister, they score! Off the little fumble in front. Buried by Sorrentino. It is 3-0 St. Anthony. As Sorrentino gets his 5th of the year off that little, not sure what's it called, a little poke check, little bump. And it's 3-0 Friars. Budicavoli gets the lone assist on the Sorrentino goal as things stand currently. Budicavoli has now 10 apples on the year. And it's back with Mr. Sorrentino. Taken away in the far corner by Northport Huntington. Fire to the far point where it's gloved and held for the moment. Now the puck comes out. Justin Norris, he'll put her right back into the Tigers zone as the Friars touch up. And a shorthanded Tiger group. A lot of reinforcements in tonight. for the usual cast members not in attendance. Most notably, starting goaltender Bowden Rudloff and leading scorer JT Caruso. Nonetheless, the Tigers have generated some opportunities here in this first period. And a couple of defensive zone gaffes have really cost them. And the Friars, opportunistic, have taken advantage of said mistakes, as it's a high flip into the Friar end of the ice, glove down and controlled by Kanza. Kanza nearly coughed it up in the far corner. He'll spin it around near side. Held in for the moment by Northport. Huntington know they're offsides, and that allows Norris to skate in. Justin Norris, wrist shot, sticked away by Rossi, who made also a number of key saves thus far here in the first period. Perhaps the score would be worse. Taken away by Kahn, flips ahead. Karpich drags, fires, glove save made by Valsic, making it look easy on Northport. Huntington's most prolific scorers, Owen Karpich, saw him absolutely roof the OT winner, bar down, against Jack Pring of Smithtown Hauppauge. Face off to the right of Valsic. One in the defensive end by St. Anthony. They'll rip it around. Picking it up on the other side, Peter Kelly. Kelly works it across for a wrist shot, scores! 4-0 Friars. And a wrist shot from nearly outside the circle. Beats Rossi. Yeah, just outside the circle. Just inside the post and out of the reach of the blocker of Rossi. And goal scored by Dom Tartaglia. Gives the Friars a 4-0 lead as the first period was coming to a close. Just 12 seconds were left in it as the first goal horn sounds to signal the end of the first period. All Friars in that opening frame. They lead it 4-0. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Browning and Gabe DeCurry will be back for period number 2 between the Friars and Tigers, right here and only on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hauppauge, listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 4-0. St. Anthony jumping all over Northport Huntington in that first period. That most recent goal scored by Dom Tartaglia was his 5th of the season, his 8th point. Again, a 4-goal lead. Here's Miklich for the Friars. Sends it around. Tigers had their chances. Not nearly as many as the Friars, but not totally mismatched. Varsity has been excellent, as per usual. The Long Island goal. He actually teammates with JT Caruso of Northport Huntington, not in the lineup tonight, as carpet shot off a glove and in. Oh, that's how you get on the board past the hot goaltender, isn't it? An absolute pinball wizardry of a shot. And it doinked its way through. Here's the first doink. Here comes doink number 2. And then number 3. And past Varsity. The eventual goal scorer credit there goes to Karpich, as he collects goal number 6 in game number 7. Walter and Gazzardo picking up assists. And the Tigers are on the board. See if they gain momentum. Karpich trying to do just that. Drags, fires, glove save made by Jordan Valsic. Mentioned Walter and Gazzardo picking up assists. Gazzardo, it's his 4th apple of the season. Walter, his 7th point, 4th assist. As we resume play, Gazzardo backhanding one toward the goal. Walter shot and a right pad save. Nice little kick there from Valsic, who has seemingly responded well after allowing the goal. 3-on-1. And across and off the post and then in. Way to stay with the play, Tommy Azzariti. Or rather, was that 19 or 18? Why is it so hard to tell? I think it's 19. And if it is 19, that is Azzariti. It is Tommy Azzariti. As he's probably wondering, how did I miss that first one? But didn't wonder for too long, because he stuck with it and put the rebound off the post into the open cage. For his 2nd point of the evening, Budicavoli and Catallo pick up assists. And any momentum that Northport Huntington had has seemingly been diffused. Toward the middle of the ice, good defense provided by Ganesi. Taken away by the Friars. Sharp angle try, shrugged off by Rossi off the shot from Nichols. He'll go for a change. Sharp angle try over the net. Came off the stick of Stiuso. Karpich laying a hit down on Carrasco. Rolls around for Sorrentino. Tries to go across, and now holding in near point is Stiuso. Banked around for Sorrentino. To the far point, where it's held in again by Stiuso. Pardon me, it's Budicavoli at the near point, 81. And now Stiuso, 15, far boards, has it knocked away from him, but sticks go flying. Delayed penalty on Northport Huntington as a shot through a wall of Tigers in front gets blocked. We get a stoppage, more sticks go flying, and a penalty is assessed. It'll be, of course, assessed to Northport Huntington, in particular, that is Patrick Schmidt. With 12:18 to go in the 2nd period, the Friars will get their 2nd look on the power play. 0 for 1 tonight. For the season, they have averaged a power play goal every other game. See if that number increases or not tonight. Up top, Stiuso. Budicavoli. Far circle. Save made! And then played with a high stick, do they call it? Let's take another look at that save from Rossi. Shrugged it off and nearly into the net at a dive, did not cross the line. And they blow the whistle dead. Blow the play dead. I think the whistle's still alive. Yep, it is. Face-off one control by the Friars. Stiuso. Catallo. Walks, far circle. Thrown into the back of the net. They score. It's a hat-trick goal for Zach Sorrell. Have yourself a night, Zach. His 11th of the season. And I'm not sure if it deflects or not. Might have. Oh, it really might have. He'll take it no matter how they come. And the Friars take a 5-goal lead. Sorrell from Stiuso and Catallo on the power play. Still early stages, second period. And 2 quick goals following the Northport Huntington Carpage goal to put the Friars back in full control. Meanwhile, St. Anthony's have iced the puck here. The Schmidt penalty, by the way, was for interference. As we get a look at Bowden Rudloff on the bench. He's in the penalty box now, is Rudloff. Number 32. I believe he's sporting his goals mask, so he and Valsic teammates. Poked down for Oramaner, centering feed. Kahn, a wraparound try and a save made, or spin around, rebound, they score! Oramaner blasts it by Valsic. And the Tigers have their second of the night. So Kahn here is going to spin one, save made, way to stay with it. And Oramaner gripping it and ripping it. So it should be Oramaner from Kahn. It is Oramaner from Kahn. Jordan Oramaner, 7th of the season. 6-2 is your new score. Still plenty of hockey left to be played in this game. Plenty of time as Oramaner takes it away in the offensive zone. Took it off the stick of Budicavoli, who takes it right back, banks it to himself, and provides a beautiful outlet pass. Springing ahead, the right winger, Ryan Riggins, and Ryan Riggins lost the handle at the last moment. That pass intended for Oramaner off the stick of Walter goes through the skates of Oramaner, down ice for an icing. Your 10:42 left in the second period. Friars and Tigers. Face-off controlled. Catallo, a rip blocked. By the way, the 6 goals allowed in this game to this point by Northport Huntington are the most goals they have allowed in any game this season. And we are not even halfway through the second period. And after that icing, an offensive zone draw for the Friars. Gazzardo will play it around for Schmidt. Schmidt to the line, held in by Kanza. Chris Kanza holding in. In the skates of Sorrell, plays it across, loose out in front, and pouncing on the loose puck is Bowden Rudloff. He's in the game, folks. So he didn't start. Instead, it was Rossi, but now Rudloff is between the pipes. I mentioned his presence in the penalty box earlier. He didn't take a penalty. Well, obviously so, and now he is in the game. Trying to inspire the comeback, as Rossi did the best he could to hold down the fort in the meanwhile. Kanza, low shot off the stick of Rudloff and out of play. Hits the netting in behind. I'll do it all over again to the right of Bowden Rudloff. Sorrentino to take the draw, flanked by Riggins to his right, and Busa to his left. Tigers came out of the zone. Here's Oramaner, slot area. Sets up Karpich, a drive and a save made off the one-time shot. Valsic again. And the Friars have iced the puck. 9:36 left here. Second period, 4-goal lead for St. A's. So you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. We had New York Islanders High School Hockey League, also known as the Nassau County High School Hockey League, in action earlier tonight as well here on the channel. Walter backhands in, he'll chase it down, chasing after it for the Friars. Norris defensively. Oramaner playing it to the near corner. A couple players go down. It'll be a penalty against the Friars, and whoa! I missed that. I took my eyes off it for a second. Gabe, did you catch what happened? Gabe shakes his head no. All I heard was the crowd. And much like the crowd in Wii Bowling, when you throw the ball behind you, and they go, whoa, that's what I heard. Anyway, hope some of you know what I'm talking. Gabe, tell me you know what I'm talking about. No? You never played Wii Sports Bowling, Gabe? Yeah, when you throw it behind you, and they go, whoa, yeah, okay, Gabe knows. Hopefully some of you at home know what I'm talking about. I'm not crazy. Oh, they think I'm crazy. Anyway, 9:15 left, second period. The Northport Huntington Tigers were set to get a power play. Not sure if that's still the case. Yeah, nothing. Player's been thrown out, says Gabe, of Northport Huntington. Looks like the only penalty in the system currently, we'll obviously get the other one, is for Dom Tartaglia, and it's holding, but it seemingly is a minor penalty, and I do mean it in the hockey terminology sense, as opposed to a major, which I believe we've gotten on the other side for the Tigers. While we get things sorted out, I'm going to step aside. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Oh, right on cue as I say that, we have some updates, and it's Walter, who I believe has been ejected from the game, and has been. Fighting is the terminology, and thus the cause for the gasps of the crowd. It'll be 4 aside for 2 whole minutes. And then a 3-minute 5-on-4 power play for the Friars, assuming no more shenanigans. Oramaner aggressive on the forecheck 4 aside. Nearly got a puck over to Kahn. Instead, it's flipped ahead. Glove down by Karpich. Karpich on the backhand. trying to motor into the zone. Here's Catallo. Spinning out of trouble. He'll skate his way up ice. Will Anthony Catallo picking up speed. Catallo, far circle, fire. Save made by Rudloff. Coming out from behind the goal. Right through the gut of center ice. Now breaking far right on the right wing side. Centering Kahn. Hit or a Monner. Karpich. Kahn. In across. Wrist shot deflected wide. Shot taken, I believe, by Spradell. Spradell listed as number 3. He's wearing 4 tonight. Sorrentino across, and a collision, potentially need a knee. Meanwhile, play goes on. Catallo fired wide. Both players involved in the collision appear to be okay, for what it's worth. Meanwhile, Friars dump in, flip toward Rudloff, who gloves it. He's trying to play it. He will not have a chance. So 7:40 left here in the middle period. 24 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Face-off win in the offensive zone by the Friars. They move it across. Stiuso down low for Tommy Azzariti. Azzariti flips to Sorrell. Sorrell in behind. The power play for the Friars set to begin in roughly a couple of seconds. I'm going to list it as it now. There we go. Power play Friars. Shot save made by Rudloff through traffic. Clearing attempt blocked by Schmidt. He rips it around, and it's not out. Good keep there by Stiuso. And that ensuing play on the puck deflects up nearly into the crowd. There's not quite enough height on it. Nonetheless, the stoppage in play. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left of power play time for St. A's. Face off to the left of Rudloff. Friars win it. Kanza. Sharp angle try from Azzariti, turned aside. Popped up into the air. Sorrell. And that goes by the stick of Budicavoli, who must track back to it. Through the neutral zone, deflected on by Busa. Handled by Sorrell. Sorrell. Busa. Far corner, Sorrell. Up top, Kanza. Back to Sorrell. Kanza wants it back. He'll get it. Azzariti doesn't like what he sees. Back up top for Sorrell. Sorrell challenged by Kahn. Down low to the slot off the end of the stick of Kanza. Budicavoli works his way down the near half wall. Cross, great seam pass connected, but fanning on the shot, Sorrell. Sorrell ready with a hat trick tonight. In behind the goal line. Plenty of time and space. Finally throws the pass across, intercepted but not cleared by Karpich. And now Karpich gives a Friar a bump. It was Kanza. And now taken up ice by Kahn. Kahn one-on-one with Budicavoli. Cuts to the net and a poke check from Valsic. Sends the incoming penalty-killing Tiger away, Justin Kahn. He'll flip in behind Valsic. Budicavoli with 50 to go on the power play for the Friars. 1 for 2 tonight. Budicavoli. Sorrell fakes. Kanza. Far circle. Save made. Rudloff with the glove. And another discussion in front generates a push. Sherwood, the defender in front. Oramaner is there as well. And a pat on the back of the referee there by Azariti. Do always have to be careful about touching the referees, I would say. You know, in the NFL, they're really stingy about that thing. After all, it is Sunday. Bills got a big win for all you Bills fans watching. Steelers get a big win. Jets, well, just end the season, right? Shot, save made, Rudloff, rebound! Still not in, staying in the play, Rudloff, what a save! Got it! With the stick at the end there, Bowden Rudloff, as the dying seconds of the Walter Major tick off. No goals for the Friars. That is certainly a win for Northport Huntington. Friars still knocking on the door, though, in the offensive zone. Catallo wheeling, fires, goes wide. I believe it was deflected out in front, comes all the way out of the zone where it can be played by Sorrentino, but he turned it over. Here's Schmidt, left wing side. Schmidt wide of the goal. Here's Ganesi. Looks to keep the cycle going. Karpich holds in near point. Karpich shot blocked by Catallo. Schmidt throws it out in front off a skate and underneath the pad of Valsic. That is an excellent save. I don't know how many times you see that exact play where it just ricochets off. It's going to be Ganesi in front making his varsity debut, and he nearly, not saying he intentionally did it, but redirected the puck past Valsic with the skate blade. He did not, though, because Valsic pinned the puck underneath the pad, and now Valsic night has come to a close. As coming into the net is Bonadio for St. A's. So Valsic allows 2. And what I would call an overall successful night for the Friars lead goaltender. Spreadell hustling after it. Aggressive on the forecheck is Dom Tartaglia. Tartaglia responsible for the Friars' 4th goal of the game. Blocked by Karpich, got by Karpich, and they score! And it's Tartaglia. Johnny on the spot. Gives the Friars a 7-2 lead. And a great assist on the play provided by Ryan Riggins, who is no stranger to helping his teammates score goals, as Riggins collects his 11th apple of the season at second most on the Friars, only to Sorrentino. And Christian Budicavoli picking up the secondary assist as well. Here's Tartaglia dancing with it. Kahn trying to play it. A stick is available and picked up eventually by a Friar. Dan Smith in particular. Here comes Kahn wheeling up the right side on the backhand. Kahn cuts to the net and couldn't quite get the finish. Draws a penalty, though, in the process. Does Kahn. And now the Friars able to touch up. So Northport Huntington trail by 5. We'll go to the power play. 6 goals were the most they've allowed in a game so far this year, so obviously 7 is the new record. However, since Rudloff wasn't in the net for 6 of them, you can say that he was not responsible for 6 of the 7 goals. Well, it wasn't too forced, was it? Anyway. Kahn to take the draw. Power play for Northport Huntington. Budicavoli off for a hook on the net drive from Justin Kahn, who has it here. Kahn to the point, Karpich. Karpich back to Kahn. Far circle, pass across, hoping for Karpich. Read beautifully by Catallo. Catallo all over Karpich. Karpich somehow spun away and got it to Oromano, who enters the zone. Schmidt, and now past the outstretched stick of Owen Karpich. And on for Spradell. Owen Spradell, nice move. Spradell splits the D. Spradell could not quite generate a shot. Did everything but. Held in at the near point by Karpich. Deflects to the corner. Schmidt goes down with a Fryer stick in his midsection. No penalty for either. It's always a funny thing there because holding the stick's a penalty. And obviously hooking is in the same region if the stick ends up there. So what do you call? Referee elects to not call either. Probably the good move, I'd say. Karpich blocked right off the shin guards in front of Jake Nichols. Another shot off the side of the net here from Karpich. 35 seconds to go on the power play for Northport Huntington. 45 seconds to go in the second period as the Friars clear out to get it Rudloff, and he'll backhand it safely to a teammate despite the incoming Tommy Azzariti. Kahn dangles. Kahn, a shot, he scores! What a goal on the power play. Scored by Justin Kahn. Makes it 7-3 Northport Huntington. They only trail by 4. Beautiful move, undressing Kanza. And it gets through Benadio. It's a highlight reel goal for Kahn, assisted by Owen Karpich. Justin Kahn. That is goal number 8, I believe, on the season. Yes, and his second pointer tonight as a shot toward Rudloff is denied. Off the stick of Zach Sorello, already has 3. I want to also mention for the Friars, Budicavoli has 3 assists. Anthony Catallo with 3 assists as well. And a multi-point night for Tommy Azzariti. 7-3. As the second period will come to a close. One more shot toward Rudloff. He'll make the stop. But a period again where the Friars flex their might as they score 3 in the second. Also scoring 3 goals there in Northport Huntington. So 4-goal lead again for St. A's as we come to the start of period number 3. And that's where I'll catch up with you. After this, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. As Darude Sandstorm plays throughout the rinks here in Hop Hog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Third period on its way. Friars ahead 7-3. Looking to close out and pick up the win. And if they do, it'll be win number 10 of the season. And icing called there on St. A's. Thought they had established the red line. They had not. Showing signs of pushback in the second period. Northport Huntington were shut out in the first. Scored 3 times there in the second. Friars work it ahead. Turned over, though. Tartaglia misfiring on the pass. Lead pass hoping for Kahn, just a little bit ahead of him. And Miklich takes over in the near corner. He'll send around to Karaher. Not quite out. Good. What a sidestep there from Karpich as he works it down low to Schmidt. Or a Monner in the far corner. Goes to work on the Friar defender, Justin Norris. Spreadell breaks out for Northport Huntington. Has it on the backhand. Owen Spreadell. Good poke check by Kanza. Takes it away. Fired from the far point on goal, and Benadio there to seal it up. Nine different Friars have recorded a point thus far in the game tonight. And both centers tossed from the faceoff dot. Fernandez will come in to take it for Northport Huntington. He took it against Ryan Riggins. As Karpich banks ahead for Fernandez. Jack Fernandez caught from behind by Sorrentino, who throws Fernandez into the glass. It'll be a boarding penalty on Sorrentino. It was a quick bang play, which is why the Friar fans are frustrated. But at the end of the day, the numbers come up and the player goes into the board showing the numbers. It's more likely than not going to be called. That being said, they don't list the penalty as a boarding or checking from behind penalty, instead electing to go for the roughing designation. So it is a roughing penalty against Sorrentino. That gives Northport Huntington the power play. Work it down low. Or a Monner. Try to reverse. It hit the referee and now can be cleared. Now short-handed. Here's a chance. Azaridi across. Sorrell had to catch it in his shin guards. Otherwise, he had a good look right out in front of Rudloff. Carrying up ice, Karpich dangles. Karpich drags, fires. Glove save made. Benadio. A minute 18 left here on the man advantage for Northport Huntington. They do have a power play goal here tonight. Karpich, wrist shot from long range. Swallowed up by Benadio. And so we'll do it all over again. To the left of the Friar goaltender. Gazzardo had come off the bench, and now he'll return to the bench of Northport Huntington, which has only been consisted of 3 players. Make that 4. Budicavoli with 1 minute and 2 left to kill on this Northport Huntington power play. Banks it all the way down to Rudloff. Swings it over to Karpich. Owen Karpich. Intercepted. Dangerous pass. Peter Kelly was there, and he'll fling it around the net and look to retrieve. Spreadell playing it over to Karpich. Spins away from Kelly. Deflects down, but not before the red line. Icing against Northport Huntington, who have not really generated much of anything on this power play to this point. Once again, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Be sure to check us out on social media at LI Sports Network. If you haven't given us a follow already, check out the podcast, Rinks and Realities, Travis Quigley, Paul Trentini. Into the zone, Karpich, shot, and a glove save made by Bonadio on Sherwood. Now Kevin Sherwood, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in 12 games played. With the latest opportunity. 19 seconds remain on the man advantage, and there goes the twig. The twig is snapped clean in half, belonging to Nick Busa, and that is a what, $200? More than that, Gabe? Twig, yeah. Shot denied by Bonadio. It's underneath him. 11:48 left in the stop and go 3rd period. 12 seconds remaining on the power play. Gabe getting nice and tight on the faceoff. Now bringing it back here is Karpich, spinning away. Karpich, far circle, another shot denied by Bonadio. So Bonadio, who entered the game at about its halfway point, has allowed, I believe, 1 goal since his entrance. Three seconds remaining on the Northport Huntington power play. 2 seconds and 1, and we're back to 5 aside. Can they get anything going before the player gets into the play? No, they can't. And Sorrell takes a bump. Shot sharp angle denied by Rudloff. Tigers can't clear. Here's Karpich. Spreadell. Rink-wide pass back to Karpich. And across once more up to the far side of Schmidt, but he lost it. Pushed ahead, Tartaglia. Far circle. Save made Rudloff. He got a piece before it went wide. Karaher holds in. Tartaglia. One-time shot denied by Rudloff. Good look there from Ben Karaher. As the Tigers ice the puck. Yeah, 1 goal allowed for Bonadio, 2 for Valsic. As for Northport Huntington, 1 allowed for Rudloff, none. Or pardon, 6 for Rossi. Spreadell, hounded by Busa. Busa takes it away. Center shot denied by the right pad along the ice there of Rudloff. On the look from Sorrentino. Carrasco tries to generate. Ganesi Backhanding. Sherwood sends in. Ganesi on the forecheck. Again, making his varsity debut. The JV, I believe, assistant captain, Captain Jack Fernandez, also out on the ice. And I also believe making his varsity debut. As it's deflected ahead and past Gazzardo, here's Busa's in. Busa denied by Rudloff. Gave Busa, another deflected by Carrasco. Another great save made by Bowden Rudloff. Showing why he's one of the top goalies in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Friars send right back in, hops over the stick of Rudloff, but no incoming Friars. They were offside. So plenty of time to muster up a clearing and firing it down ice. Gazzardo. It's caught up in like the arm there of Peter Kelly. Sherwood drags, knocked off his stick by Sorrell. In comes Kahn. Kahn shot, hit a stick, deflects off the glass. Shoulder to shoulder check dished out by Sherwood. Karpich somehow kept it in, squeezing the wall. Now Kahn a drive, glove save made by Bonadio. A little 2-on-1 broken play down low. Now Kahn sweeps to the front. Kahn just wide as he drew another penalty, making his way to the front of the net. A great play there from Justin Kahn. Kahn 2 points, tied for the most tonight of any member of Northport Huntington with Owen Karpich, each of them a goal and an assist. And they would like to see one of those numbers increase as they both are on the ice for the Tiger power play, which is set to begin in now. With a face-off win, however, by St. Anthony, glove down by Karpich. Karpich tried to move in quickly, stumbled a bit, and that gave Cataldo just enough time. One-time shot, Kahn scores! A rocket from Justin Kahn, following up a highlight reel goal he scored earlier. It's a 3-goal game with 8:28 to go here in the third period. Gets the goalie Bonadio moving left, shot goes right. Sneaks in inside the post blocker side. Second power play marker of the game for Northport Huntington. Another goal and it gets real interesting, especially if it happens sooner rather than later. Oromano trying to go into the zone, however it's turned back the other way. Long shot, blockered away by Rudloff. Kicks in behind. Shot coming off the stick of Kanza. Karpich, Kanza. Kanza takes it away from Karpich. He'll hold and look for a safe play and has it, banking it across in behind to Budicavoli. However, the Friars can't clear thanks to the stick of Justin Kahn. Here is Budicavoli trying to clear it out the far boards instead. Runs into more trouble, this time in the form of Owen Karpich. Friars regroup in behind. Aggressive forecheck here for the Northport Huntington Tigers. Eventually comes to pass and a breakout pass. Here's Sorrentino, denied by Rudloff. Right back the other way, it's Kahn. Justin Kahn briefly overskated, got it back, and hammered it into the zone. Schmidt on the forecheck. Steered away from him. Sorrentino over to Kelly. Now back with Sorrentino. Anthony Sorrentino brings it in behind. Friars leading scorer. Now Stiuso blocked in front. Kelly. Got bumped off the puck himself by Kahn, who skates it out to center. Justin Kahn shrugging off Stiuso. Goes to chase it in behind. Is that another penalty on St. A's? I believe it is. I believe holding is the call. Friars flirting with danger as Leo Stiuso goes off to the box, putting the Tiger power play, who have scored twice already in the game, back out on the ice. And a timeout has been called. And so much like the cafe of the same name here at the rinks, I will take a timeout here on the LI Sports Network. You're listening right here to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Gabe Curry, Ryan Brannigan will be back in just a moment. 7-4. Things potentially getting interesting here. Late third period. Power play coming for Northport Huntington. Some epic music being played. Not sure who it is. Gabe, do you never recognize the music, the track, anything? No, I don't either. But a potentially epic finish could be in store. A shot off the mask of Benadio, off the stick of Oromahner. And now sent out of the zone by Karaher, who chased after on the back here. And Karaher gets taken down, and the power play for Northport Huntington lasts just 15 seconds. And no, that's not a long time. A very short time indeed. 15 seconds, that is all. Four on four hockey. Holding penalty, Owen Spradell. As they finally adjust his number in the system from 4 to 3. Here is Catallo, wheeling, picking up speed. Navigating himself away from Sherwood, lost control of the puck, and it is just ripped down ice as if they were shorthanded, but they are not. It's for a side, folks. So offensive zone draw coming for St. A's. Oh, Pantera playing throughout the rink as a save made from Rudloff off the draw. Sorrell Arizariti fires, and a save made by Bowden Rudloff with the glove, and he'll balance it in said glove for the official to take. Tommy Arizariti, he'll take the draw to the right of Bowden Rudloff. He'll take it from Justin Kahn, and he'll win it back. Buda Cavoli, hounded by Karpich, backhands it down the far boards. Here's Kahn near side. Ahead for Karpich, tries to bank to center and eventually does. Right back in comes Tommy Arizariti, Azaridi a dangle. Azaridi the backhand and coming out to make the stop. Aggressively so, Bowden Rudloff. Karpich tried to lead Oromana and let him, he did, just a hair offside. 5:07 left here in the third period. 7-4 the score. And 37 seconds more of 4-on-4 hockey. An abbreviated Friar power play is in tote. As SCHSHL will exit the box. Gazzardo's passes ahead, multiple ones at that, blocked by Busa, who stands in front of Rudloff. In behind is Sherwood. Oh no, that is Karpich. Turnover here from Kahn. Puck sent right back in behind. Here's Bowden Rudloff. Tiger Tendy intercepted. Play to the front of the net by Sorrentino. Here's Busa going to work on Kahn. Busa. And that abbreviated Friar power play starts now. Wrist shot deflected, save made, Rudloff. As the abbreviated power play comes to an end. Since entering the game, Bowden Rudloff just allowing the one goal. As has Friar goaltender Bonadio since he entered the game, only allowing a single goal. Karpich goes down off the faceoff, carried around by Sorrentino. Up top for Nichols. Nichols barely able to hold in. Tigers wanted an offsides call. They're not going to get one. As Rudloff makes the left pad save and covers up. And with each second that ticks off the clock, the chances of the Tigers winning this game, or rather tying it up even, get thinner and thinner. Got a false start off the draw. Spreadell comes on, Karpich off. Sorrentino to take the draw from Ganesi, and he'll win it clean. Miklich down the far half wall for Carrasco. Pinching in Jake Nichols. Nichols. Wrist shot, high riser from Sorrentino, fought off by Bowden Rudloff. Carrasco and Busa in behind. Now Carrasco, far corner, challenged by Spreadell, who took it away. Ganesi will flick it to Schmidt. Schmidt, Busa, Carrasco, Ganesi all in the far corner, comes out to Sorrentino, loads up, fires, and a block from Ganesi. Rebound save made Rudloff. Incredible concentration displayed by the Tiger Tendy. Fernandez dumps in. Ganesi and Nichols come together in the near corner. Puck free and gathered and skated by Sorrentino. Sorrentino windmills his way around Sherwood, but Sherwood quickly caught back up with him, pinned him to the boards. Flung across. Ganesi trying to get there. He will, but only able to backhand it to the Friar line. Gathered back in, Leo SCHSHL. Ryan Riggins. Karaher. That shot blocked. Catallo in the near corner. Justin Norris fires that one wide. SCHSHL. Great possession in the zone here for the Friars, is covering up 2:14 left in regulation time. We're fast approaching miracle for Northport Huntington, especially the way the Friars have played in the last few minutes or so, where they have dominated control and have the puck far away from Bonadio. Hasn't really faced a chance in quite some time. Rudloff has stood tall, makes another save there off the point rip from Norris. Norris in behind. Toward the front of the net, Ryan Riggins' pass came to Oramaner. Karpich trying to deflect ahead for Kahn. Again, a Tiger team without their leading scorer, JT Caruso. As Karaher nearly had a break, and offsides is going to stop a potential breakaway chance for Leo Stiuso, the defenseman, jumping up into the play. Sereno also not in the lineup tonight for Northport Huntington, as essentially they're crosstown rivals here in St. Anthony, who they have not bested in over 2 seasons. Sherwood, however, they certainly would like to do it when it counts most. That would be in the playoffs. And I'm not sure, I'm no mathematician, so I can't say that Northport Huntington guaranteed to make the dance, but I believe they are, if not guaranteed, very likely. Away comes Dan Smith, and down goes Mr. Smith. Happens, you get a little too excited when you see that much open ice ahead of you. Sometimes, I know it certainly happened to me a lot, especially being a defenseman. Wasn't used to it. Dan, I'm sure, is, but these things happen. Sorrell, toe drag, and a save made by Rudloff, who timed his push off the right post perfectly. It is indeed the final countdown, 27.9 seconds left. Face off to the right of Rudloff. He's only allowed the 1 goal since entering the cage. But Tigers were in a 4-goal hole at the end of period number 1, a hole they could not quite climb out of. Tartaglia knocked from him, dying moments. Friars. One last touch here for Kansas. 2 seconds in 1. They are victorious here tonight. A 3-goal win against Northport Huntington. They, St. Anthony, improved to 10-1-1 on the season, while Northport Huntington, mentioned they're 8-4, really 8-2-2. 2 overtime losses. They'll add a regulation loss, their 3rd, to their standing sheet, remaining at 18 points this season. Coming up for the Tigers, they have a meeting with Pat Med, who are in the basement of the varsity standings, in 10 days from now on December 17th, whereas the Friars, what's next for them is a meeting with East Islip. And speaking of East Islip, they're up next with a matchup against top of the standings, Smithtown Hauppauge. So that coming up next. Stay with us right here on LI Sports Network in about 10-15 minutes or so. But for now, that is all. On behalf of Gabe DeCurry, man, the myth, the legend, Swiss Army knife as he is, I'm Ryan Brannigan saying so long. Until next time, as always, have a good night.